But keeping all of your attention and focus on this one property because you just love it is turning away so many other opportunities that you could have had your eyes on, could have spent time on. There's not just one property or two
Yeah.
or 20. There's so many
Well,
opportunities
that's
out there if you do the work.
are rates going higher or lower? Is now the right time to lock in your mortgage rate, folks? I think we have a surprising answer for you. And frankly, some of you are not going to like it, but you all need to hear it. We've got the one and only Dustin from Convoy Home Loans. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. It's very interesting because I know you must get this on a daily basis. I get it on a weekly basis. The basic question is, hey, Mike, when are rates going down? Are rates going up? And then when I look at the interest rate picture, specifically for mortgages, we are within 5 basis points of what rates were last year. And people don't realize that we've been in this very tight band for 12 months, which is actually pretty normal. The 4 years preceding that was wild and not normal. But mortgage rates aren't intended to move up and down at lightning speeds. So, what do we tell people when they call you and say, "Is now a good time? Are rates going up? Are rates going down?" What kind of feedback would you like to leave with someone?
Yeah. So, as you mentioned yourself, you get this question asked to you a lot. We get it asked to us a lot, a lot.
Almost every
Pretty
phone call,
much
I bet.
every phone call, correct. And we've been, like you said, from 2020 to 2024, the volatility in mortgage rates was something that, nobody could really truthfully had predict coming into it, but kind of operate in that space with certainty on when was a good time and when was a bad time. Now, if
Yeah.
you look at the last 6 and 12 months, you nailed it. 5 basis points a year ago to now.
Yeah, it's
The last
crazy.
6 months, like a point one
Nothing.
up or down, right? So when people ask me that question, I'm not going to be there, crystal ball and tell them it's a great time to do it just to get the deal done, or it's a terrible time to scare them away. Because ultimately, my conviction lies in it is the time to do it. If you're eyeing something, if you have something on your radar, whether it's your new primary or it's a new investment property, that point one rate difference that it could go up and it could go down. I'm not saying that it can't because it has. And we've seen that 2 weeks ago, a month ago. But that point one difference shouldn't be the end all be all for making your investment decision. Because if it's that close where point one matters on the rate to you, it's not the deal for you. It's just not.
I, I want people to hear that. Again, more and more people are looking for the rate to make the deal or the rate to save them. If you're that skinny, it's not a deal. It's just flat out not a deal. If a 5 basis point swing turns it from a deal to a not the deal, let me just save you the stress. It's not a deal. I'll even go one step further. Probably the most common question I get about single family homes on my channel is, Michael, is today a good time to buy a home? And I will just give you the example or the answer I give everyone. If you ask me, someone that you don't know on the internet, if it's a good time to buy a home, let me just tell you right now, no, it's not. You're not ready. You should not need external validation from a freaking stranger to buy a home. If you need that extra encouragement from a stranger, you're not ready. Stay where you are. That's what I think.
Yeah, no, you nailed it right on the head because ultimately, look, most people, buying a home is their biggest investment they'll make in their entire lifetime, right?
Oh, no doubt.
And I just see so many deals, even currently on primary residences or, DSCR loans, which we do a lot of, right? Where the
Mhm.
deal is too skinny right now.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of the times your, let's just say, debt to income ratio that you need to be at if you're buying a primary residence, right, is usually, let's say, 45% or 50%, depending which product you're doing, right? I don't even feel comfortable writing a loan when the debt to income is at 44.9 or 49.9, right? It's
Yeah, that's
just
what people don't realize. Just because you can get a yes answer doesn't mean it's a good loan. It's very risky, guys. Come on, be smart.
things happen. And it goes the same thing with on a DSCR loan. Like if you're looking for 1.01, I spoke with actually one of my bigger clients, I would say, that we've done I don't know, 30 plus deals for over the last 3 or 4 years. And his motto is, I don't buy anything unless it's at 1.5. Why? Because there's a 20% chance that I'm going to have a vacancy at some point over the next 2, 3 years. And
Yeah.
there's a 20% chance that I'm going to have a bill for some sort of mess up with either the tenant or the utilities that's going to eat into my DSCR.
I
So
love that. I love
take,
that. Again, that's the attitude to have, right? Stop trying to get skinny like what's the maximum or minimum or whatever. Just have your buy box, have your discipline. And in this guy's example, if it's not a 1.5, I'm not doing the deal. But this is the real beauty of that. He can look at every property on the market and he doesn't give a rat's ass about the purchase price, right? Or the list price, excuse me, list price. He's going to write the offer where it produces a 1.5. And the seller can say no or counter or whatever. When you have that financial discipline, you have a buy box, you're that rigorous, you don't care if the seller says no because you're not going to do the deal in this example unless it's 1.5. I love this guy. This is beautiful.
yeah, and it kind of on the complete opposite side of the coin. I've one client that I've been now. Look, it's hard. It's very hard in Los Angeles. Okay,
Mhm,
to find a deal that's cash flowing when you're trying to put the minimum down. Let's say
mhm,
20%. I have a colleague slash client that has been looking at this one property for about, I want to say 6 7 months, and he keeps asking, for a new pre-approval letter, etc., seeing where rates are. And I've told him, look, just because you want to do it in your backyard, I get it. But keeping all of your attention and focus on this one property because you just love it is turning away so many other opportunities that you could have had your eyes on, could have spent time on. There's not just one property or two
mhm.
or 20. There's so many
Well,
opportunities out there if you do the work.
that's how home buyers and in this case investors lose. Anytime you get emotionally attached to one, you've lost all negotiation power. You've lost all semblance of options, and it doesn't end well. You often overpay. You often get into a bad situation. You're absolutely right. If you're going to do the work, you're agnostic to the deal. A buy box is a box for a reason because there's lots of opportunity there. And then when you have the rules and rigor like the first guy at a 1.5, you like if my buy box had 20 properties in it and my rule was 1.5 DSCR, I could find all the properties. I could write 20 offers at a 1.5 or maybe 1.6 to get some negotiation. And I should feel good about that. And if all 20 tell me to F off, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You move on, right? There's
You move on and look for property
a lot.
21 and then you follow up on the other 20 in 2 weeks.
Exactly.
It's just a game,
You,
man.
you practice what you preach, and you're a perfect example for everybody listening that what you just
Yeah.
said is 100% what you should be doing.
There you go. Well, let's throw a curveball at you because I've been smattering this around Twitter the last couple of days. Let's say coming out of left field for whatever reason, President Trump fires Jerome Powell. Let's just say
Left
over the
field.
weekend,
Great.
Saturdays, markets are closed. Trump fires Powell. What happens to the long end of the curve, in your opinion? Your wild guess.
I mean, we've said it. If that happens, the new Fed chair is going to have a blood sworn pact with Trump behind closed doors that his number one day one motive and plan is going to be to cut rates. Now, I have this conversation a lot with clients where I still don't think that most clients understand that if the federal funds rate does drop, that doesn't mean mortgage rates will drop as well. Understanding that part is very hard sometimes for clients to wrap their head around. And I always point them to the perfect example, which was in the Q4 of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Fed fund rates cut 50 basis points, mortgage rates went up 50 basis points.
Exactly.
So, yes, cutting Powell is what everybody I think that's looking for lower mortgage rates is saying that's the next thing we're looking
Yeah,
for.
I'll go
Once
one step
Powell's out.
further. I'll go one step further. Let's just say for whatever reason, so what is today? Thursday, right? So July 19th. This is just a what if game. July 19th, we get a Truth Social post that Jerome Powell's been fired. By Monday morning, The 10-year note will be up 100 basis points. Mortgage rates might be up 125 basis points. The short end, the very short end, it will go down because you're absolutely right. The next nominee will have a blood pack. And, Trump might get 200 basis point cut. But to your point, the bond vigilantes will go batshit crazy. And that 10-year note, that 30-year note are going rip. You want a shot at 9% mortgage rates? Fire pal. You want 8.5%, 8%, fire pal. Right. So anybody thinking that firing pal is the answer to lower mortgage rates doesn't understand the system. It will blow up spectacularly, in my opinion.
I completely agree, and I'm just gonna go straight off the head on what I was thinking because I have nothing to hide from this channel. But you said July 19th. That's my brother's birthday, and I was thrown off because I was like, wait a second, it's July 17th. But that just tells me how good you're doing and how good your life is, Mike, and how you're set up to throw me off like that for about 10 seconds.
That's funny.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
got it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Well, if somebody wanted to get started with you, open a file, talk about DSCR conventional, do all the comparisons. Where should we send them?
Go to convoyhomeloans.com. Mention you came from ORaaT. There's a little blue click or blue button that you can click to say that's where you came from.
Yep, little drop down. How'd you hear from us? Click ORaaT, because if you do that, that lead goes right to this young man or his partner, Jonathan. So don't go in a queue. Going in a queue sucks. We don't like waiting in Disneyland lines. Go right to the president, the CEO. Go to the man, myth, the legend. These two guys. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.